Hello, this is Tam the Tam BOTC channel. We're going to be playing some Mass Effect Andromeda, but this isn't a Let's Play or series. When I do get my videos on the Let's Play, it's not going to be through the campaign. It'll be spoiler free, mostly because right now I don't think this game deserves a solid Let's Play. Once again, I'm getting over a sickness, but I should sound better now than I did before. I'm gonna change my dang armor. But, this is a new series that I'm building up, and I'm gonna use Mass Effect for, the game for today, the discussion for today. And I'm mainly going to discuss, this series will be called Show of Concern, and literally, I guess, a show. Not really, it's more like a discussion built show, if anything. But, I'm gonna do the N7 armor. I was thinking like the N7 stuff. There we go. I'm gonna have my N7 vehicle paint. But yeah, I'll talk more about like my impressions on this game and what I think, but that'll be for another video. Right now, my show of concern mainly focuses on possible problems that that I show, well, concern for future events or for that game series. I want to do one on Dark Souls 3. Mainly it touches on touchy subjects of what these games have become and such. This is a really nice looking area, by the way. But my show of concern today is the game's entirety and a couple other subjects on like the game company themselves. First off, people have picked on a individual person from EA, and I don't think that's right, or that should be a thing. That's really not the way to go about things. Let's just say that. It's extremely the wrong way. Take it up with the company, if anything. I also feel like, even though it's not true at the same time, but I feel like we also want to acknowledge that EA is also a factor with Bioware on the problem of how this game turned out. Because this game does have a lot of problems with the render distance of the dang rocks. Sort of silly. But this game is decent. It has its moments. Yeah, let's just get away from those dinks. It's a really nice area.
One of your father's memories is now.
So we want to go this way.
Accessible.
But yeah, we want to focus on both companies. I feel like even though it is Bioware to get the full blunt, I feel like EA deserves just as much.
That thing's Remnant
They're
for sure.
pretty much equal. A matter of fact, I almost feel like EA deserves a little more, because it might be this whole deal with the working environment that they've created for the rest of Bioware. I feel like Bioware is like Rare is to Microsoft, but Bioware to EA. They're mistreated. And due to probably the fact that a lot of developers have left and such. I'm not saying that Bioware is out of the question. I'm just saying that we don't want to factor out EA yet. And to be honest, I am like, this is the last straw for me. Like, I am so sick of EA. I am really sick of them. They destroyed so many games. They ruined Battlefront. They have the whole always online. They're worst with the microtransactions, which, by the way, I want to point out, the microtransactions are horrible in this game. for the multiplayer, especially since it is a horde mode. It is not worth it. It is extremely dumb. And Gears of War is even more worth it than that. Gears of War 4. That is extremely stinking sad. And I don't think any microtransactions is worth it. That's it just disgusts me. And then all these bundles, just like what Ubisoft does, I used to hate what Ubisoft's become. I used to love Ubisoft. They used to be my favorite company of all time, due to games like Splinter Cell and all those other Tom Clancy titles they had. But nowadays, they just become just, ugh, something disgusting.
I'm reading a normal temperature range, Pathfinder.
That's because I'm in shape. But, EA, man. When games launch early and they come out like trash, kind of like what Battlefield 4 was originally, and Battlefield Hardline I don't think was that great. Battlefront, they ruined Star Wars games like Star Wars Battlefront. I can't believe there are people who play that. There are a lot of people that play that. Who the heck is playing that?
Levels increasing.
Don't play it. You're supporting the non-existent game just by playing it. It's like a what the heck question. Like, why are you doing this? Oh, okay.
Andromeda plant sample detected nearby.
But my show of concern is mainly for Bioware. I feel like Bioware should separate themselves from EA and make like a spiritual successor, if anything, to Mass Effect, because of how this stinking game came out. Yeah, it's very glitchy. It's got bad frame rate here and there. There are freezing moments. There's times where the audio will cut out. Angry Joe has a new video too on it. There are really bad animations here and there. There's potential hope too. That just like, it's sad. You see all this great hope in between all of the garbage. But my metaphorical representation of describing Mass Effect Andromeda is Mass Effect Andromeda has these great parts, moments to it, and these unique, like, I love its combat and I love its world building and such. Has these great moments in between, even with dialogue moments and such, and designs, that it's kind of like diamonds and rubies and stuff. And they're worth so much. You wanna get to the diamonds and rubies, but you know what you have to dig through, which it metaphorically represents the rest of the game and its problems. You have to dig through a pile of manure in order to get to those diamonds. And depending on your, I guess your metaphorical representation of how you enjoy the game, your adventure through, you could have a easier time through the game and actually have an enjoyment, but still be digging through manure, but this time you'll be equipped with your metaphorical shovel to lighten the burden of digging through with your bare hands. Or you could have a more frustrating time with the game and actually learning to dig through that poo with your hands. I'm sorry, manure. But same thing. Yeah, that's my thoughts on Mass Effect Andromeda. If I were to rate it a 6 or a 7 out of 10, it's not an awful game, and I don't think it's below average, but with everything, I'm stuck. With everything that EA has brought to us in the past, and all these other problems, microtransactions, all, like, these bundles and such, glitches, these problems at launch. It's just so sad to see all of this stuff and how this game works. There we go. But yeah, it just really sucks. There's like very few companions. There's only 6, so they're going back to Mass Effect 1. That's great. Let's take a Dragon Age Inquisition had more companions than that. What the crud? You had a ton of companions. What? What are you looking for? What's in here? What's so important? Here, I picked it up. You happy? Yeah, I'm very saddened by how this game came out. And my concerns lie with games in general, with the whole microtransaction stuff, as well as these bundles are now becoming a bigger deal with companies like Ubisoft and EA. And it's just like, should EA as a company exist? Should other companies just buy out their products? Because I feel like it would, any other games, even their sports games, would be in better hands right now. Because it's like, even if their sports games are doing well, I don't know, I don't play the sports games. But even if they're doing well in EA's hands, it's just like, but everything else outside of that EA is ruining, or is potentially ruining. I'm not saying that Bioware isn't responsible. Bioware is just as much responsible, but I do feel like EA is a big problem, and there's nothing that I can say that's going to make a difference, so of course not. But I at least can get my opinion and thoughts on it, and just show a little concern about this, and it is a big step to say, down with the company, die! But like, I feel like I went through enough where I'm like, I gave, like anybody else, I gave EA enough strikes, enough chances. 3 strikes, you're out. They went over the 3 strikes and beyond. And it's just ridiculous how much they've ruined. From Star Wars Battlefront to SimCity, The Sims, making Dead Space, making action, more of an action game. Their rushed release dates, which is what happened to games like Dragon Age 2 and such. And then people even being cautious about how Dragon Age Inquisition was going to come out. It's just like, we gave you enough strikes, and you did give us Dragon Age Inquisition. Got many Game of the Year awards, but is it really worth it in the end with what you did? Not really. We still can't forgive you. And even though you have published games like Plants vs. Zombies, I still don't like their whole setup in general.
Another memory trigger.
They even have like their own website dedicated to playing certain games where you pay monthly or whatever. Whatever, I've seen that kind of business practice a little too much too. But the other problem I have is
temperature levels are climbing, Pathfinder.
Is they messed with Mass Effect. I don't know if you guys know, you're going to learn about it now from me, but Mass Effect is my favorite series of all time. It's like my #1 favorite series, and they messed with it, and I am deeply upset. I'm more upset with EA, to be honest, because Bioware, at least there's still some good stuff that comes out of them. EA is in charge of a whole lot more than Bioware. Bioware is like behind stuff like Knights of the Old Republic, Online, which didn't do so well. They had the last 2 Knights of the Republic, which the first one was awesome. The second one, I don't know what people, I can't remember what people thought. I think it's like here and there, moderate. What's that? Wow, he's taking sticks out like a smoke up. Wow, look at his dang animations. It's like a still image. It's kind of ugly. And they're in charge of Mass Effect 1, 2, 3. I felt all three games did great. Like, the only thing that made Mass Effect 3 weaker was just the ending. I felt like Mass Effect 3 was still really strong with everything else. Whoa, what is... Oh, wow, is that another one of those creatures? That's cool looking. It's moments like that that are pretty cool, I will admit. But, wow, this barren wasteland really feels like a dang desert. I wonder how much you can explore. This thing is huge. Wow, he's sticking going like a fish through the sea. That's cool. I'll chase him. Why not? And then they're responsible for Dragon Age, which Dragon Age 1 was great. Dragon Age 2, not so well, but the combat was good. And then Dragon Age Inquisition, they pulled it off, which was good. And then Mass Effect Andromeda, which they hyped up so much, and they had devs leave, and their writer moved to Destiny, had people iffy, and now we kind of see why. But is it, like, that's Mass Effect Andromeda, a Dragon Age game, and of course Knights of the Republic Online, I don't know if that's entirely them, are actually not as big problems. EA is the publisher of those and more that go wrong. And though there are still games under EA's, EA being the publishers, therefore of, they still have good games. It's just the majority of them have been either underwhelming, not really well promised, small, minor, or glitchy, requiring online good games. A lot of them really bad too. Like, even the ones that look really good are bad. Where the heck did the creature go? Just trying to follow it, is that it? But, yeah, it's... Ugh. It just sickens me to stick and see how Mass Effect did. There's still good things once again to admire from it, but it's very less fun compared to the other Mass Effect games. I was very sad. But I feel like, once again I want to say Bioware is just as much in the problem. I can't say much about, like, who I think yet. It's a really tough call. But I would definitely say don't leave either EA or, oh, there you are, EA or BioWare out of the situation, because that would be kind of stupid to leave them both out. To leave them out, you're letting somebody get away with a really awful crime, being that of our wallets. Because literally spent 60 bucks on most of their games, and what did they give you? Almost nothing. Whoa. What is that?
That worm really is something.
I want to fight it, though. Can I fight it?
Let's do this!
Alright, I'll fight these games. But yeah.
Reload!
Oh man, this was a dream game that came out with a lot of problems. I am very sad by some of the stuff that's happened. I think I'm near the end of the game too. I don't know what to say, guys. Can you give me your thoughts and opinions on EA and such? Because I really don't know what to think. Like, once again, I'm not going to make a difference. Really, nobody can. But I do want to get my opinion out and show you that I do have a concern, and I'm glad you learned something from me too, because now you know what my favorite game of all time is, and that's Mass Effect, and I feel like it was deeply ruined thanks to EA and Bioware. They really hyped up the game, and it was unprepared. I feel like maybe it's a release date problem, and the game kind of shows. What the heck is with that? Is that just to duck my bullets? That is the weirdest dang animation I've seen in this game. Ugh, animations in this game. Just ugly sometimes. You probably, I guess from this video you already got my opinions on the game. Pretty much, so I don't need to sum it up anymore. But I will be doing mostly just like exploring worlds. So you guys will get to see me explore different worlds. I'm going to do a video on Dark Souls 3, because I want to talk about their new DLC before it even launches. But yeah, I wanted to show some concern for one of my favorite games of all time, and hope that EA gets some sort of message out of this. Definitely, probably not. But, just to know that I show some concern for the project, as well as, gosh darn it,
That worm really is
as
something.
well as, how this game will be patched or updated, how it will turn out then. Really? Dagnabbit. There's our vehicle. But, yeah, I hope you enjoyed nonetheless. So that was show of concern for Mass Effect Andromeda and EA. You pieces of trash of a company. So stay tuned for Dark Souls 3 when I talk about its DLC, what I think, and hope out of it. I'll tell you also what I thought of the trailers and such. But right now, I really hope that Mass Effect gets patched and updated and it just comes out much better. Also, I was thinking Angry Joe's review, well, not review, but his recent Mass Effect video, a horde mode is not acceptable for your multiplayer. We already got Gears of War for that, but guess what? Gears of War has other modes. Get another mode other than what you have right now. Seriously. We're paying 60, 70, whatever bucks for this? Ugh. Including transactions? That is stupid. And pre-order isn't always worth it. Matter of fact, I don't know why people should pre-order. Why I pre-order? I'm stupid. Sometimes I like to pre-order something because I just have the money to at the time, and I'm like, hey, I can splurge some money, and hey, I'm getting the game early. Why not? And I'm a big fan of Mass Effect, so why wouldn't I? I'm just glad I didn't buy one of the expensive bundles. I just bought the regular version, 60 bucks. But I still feel like it was kind of a sad thing. It was like my highlight was Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I was like, yeah. And then I just got depressed by this game. It was like, yeah, I'm happy. I'm very happy. Mass Effect was the exact opposite for me. I was very sad by that. But I hope to see you guys next time. Please like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!